one as Liam Currams watches anxiously, as does Ger Power. That shot is good into, just gone across the goal mouth. All it needed was a hand. Charlie Nanigan down on the goal now, going to pick his spot in which to place the ball on the corner of the parallelogram. Shortage one, not a good one. Matt Connor again. And he's been tackled there by Mitch Milan. Connor back out into Pat Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald up into the corner for Ross Connor. Here's Sean Welch going for it quicker. Referee allows the play go on. He gives the advantage there. Clearance into the centre of the field. Pat Fitzgerald for Offaly. Over to this side of the field. Brendan Lowry going for it. Comes out this side to Aidan O'Halloran. And the referee blows his whistle down. The scoreboard up on the left says 2 points for Offaly. Maybe it's a fortune teller that's working it, I don't know. And there's the kick. The board is right now. Matt Connor, the scorer of both the Offaly points. Offaly 2 points, Kerry no score. And both the points scored by Matt Connor. Charlie Nanigan for the kick out on the 20-metre line. Tommy Doyle going first time for the ball there, and the referee calls for the ball. And it deflected off the referee there, and he's going to throw it in. Tomas Connor on the right, Sean Walsh on the left. Stalemate. Oh dear. Now boys, Tommy Doyle, one of those involved there, the most angry looking of the two. He was retaliating there for a foul. A free to Kerry. Páidí O'Shea. A lovely ball, Liston is inside. He's trying to get room to get rid of the ball. Ger Power blocked there. Brendan Lowry, ball out now to Páidí O'Shea. Páidí trying to get inside and he succeeded. And Liam Currams, oh dear, he was going to police it going over the end line, then decided he'd get it himself. Sean Walsh, the ball greasy after the rain. In now to Jack O'Shea. Pádraig Dunn pulling out of him, and there's a free for Kerry. And the referee having a word with Pádraig Dunn, we won't have any pulling. It wasn't a foul, but it was a foul, if you get what I mean. Mikey Sheehy with the kick. And again it is dropped short, and again it goes to Martin Furlong, out to Aidan O'Halloran, who's way back 13 metres out from the goal. A long clearance upfield, Jim Deenahan coming out, going back, covering off there, Jack O'Shea, and this is Páidí O'Shea, and the ball fisted down by Liam Connor. Tomas Connor not having a very happy time out in the centre of the field. Pádraig Dunn getting the ball up into his hand, and nicely fielded by Matt Connor. Páidí Lynch after him, Matt feeding the wing. Oh, this is blackboard stuff, this is. And Sean Lowry's kick is in, it's hit the upright. Brendan Lowry, Jerry Carroll, wide. Well, there's no doubt in the world that the backroom boys have been working with Offaly, and anybody who thought that this game was going to be a cakewalk, think again. The score, Offaly 2 points, Kerry no score. And there is the effort, but it 2 points for Offaly, no score for Kerry. And Aidan O'Halloran out over the line. Line ball for Kerry. Cody. No doubt the world that the Kerry dressing room weren't short of imprecation before they came out. Cody O'Shea. Owen Liston. Got the pass intercepted there by Liam Connor. Oh, lovely effort there. Matt Connor out now to Aidan O'Halloran. O'Halloran into Connor, who slips, and now it's Kerry coming away. Cody O'Shea trying for an open space. Owen Liston in search of the ball, coming down to the centre of the field. And here come the Kerry men now into the attack as Tommy Doyle moves it up. Jack Power gone across to the far side, trying to get past Liam Currams. Tommy Doyle again. Into the centre now to Ogie Nolan. Ogie's shot is good, and it's the first Kerry score. Here it is again into Ogie Nolan. He almost let it get away. It didn't, and it's over the bar. 2 points to 1 in favour of Offaly after almost 10 minutes of play in this first half. And some delightful touches of football up to now. Martin Furlong. And Pat Fitzgerald couldn't hold on to it. And there is a free as Charlie Walsh is turned upsy-downsy. Free taken by Mix Milan. Passing out a nicely placed clearance to Pat Fitzgerald. Vincent Henry. And now here come the Kerry men again. Jer Power. Into the centre. And the shot is high. The shot is over the bar. And that is the equaliser. Here it is again. Comes out to Cody O'Shea. He shakes off the tackle, takes his kick, and it is 2 points apiece. About 11 minutes gone in this first half. The look of satisfaction on a face that had a look of anxiety before the game started. Henry Furlong, Owen Liston in the foreground there. He's not standing quite as close to it as it would look there. For closure. Long kick. This is Charlie Conroy. Sidesteps Joe Power. Sean Lowry. And Vincent Henry being tackled there by Michael Spillane. Still Vincent Henry. And the referee waves on Cody O'Shea again, and Cody, a right half back, took that one from a left full forward position. And getting out to the ball is Ger Power very nicely. And Ger Power shouldered down, as was the Offaly man earlier. It was Richie Connor that did it, but that's John Egan shot, and it's gone wide. John Egan getting the ball from the break there. Took his shot quickly, but it went by. Kerry 3 points, Offaly 2. Somebody else, and there is a free to Kerry to be taken by Jack O'Shea. Mick Fitzgerald, Tomas Connor trying to get out to it, but not really getting in the hunt at all. And this is Owen Liston trying to get past Liam Connor, and he takes his shot as he scrounged there. And just watch this. Watch this for quick action that just didn't quite come off. It deserved to come off, but it didn't. 3 points for Kerry, 2 for Offaly. Owen not having as yet the dominance that Kerry would like him to have in there, as Liam Connor keeps watching him everywhere he goes. Vincent Henry. Got down there by Michael Spillane. And the ball coming up now to this side of the field and going back towards the end line, out over the end line, and in fact gone wide. Tim Kennelly, in fact, was back there in action just a moment ago, not Michael Spillane, as I said. And Mikey Sheehy and Liam Currams. Liam Currams has gone back to left full back, and Charlie Conroy has come out to half forward, while Michael Sheehy has gone back into where he was before. And this Cody O'Shea, he's everywhere, and this is John Egan. And Owen Liston, I don't know how he got that one, but he did. And free for a shoulder or pushing the back there, and that free will be taken almost over on the sideline there. Mick Fitzgerald to take it. Tomas Connor into the centre now, and a long attacking ball by Aidan O'Halloran, and Sean Lowry trying to do Jimmy Keenan going backward. Sean Lowry trying to do an own listen with a deflection ball there that nearly came off for him, and the referee awarding a free to Kerry for a push in the back there by Pat Fitzgerald, and this free about 35 metres, a little bit less than 35 metres out from the Kerry goal. And Cody Lynch is going to take it. Short one into Tim Kennelly. Out now to John Egan. And it's gone too far. It's gone too far. And, well, it was brought out by an Offaly man's boot. It looked for a moment as if there was going to be a free out, but no, it is brought out, and it is a 45. Kerry leading 3 points to 2. Jack O'Shea. Got by John Egan. And deflected over the bar by Mikey Sheehy. Mikey Sheehy in for no left, went in for that one. Here it is again. And deflected from just in front of the goal, over the bar for a point. 4 points to 2 in favour of Kerry, and I'm sure there are awfully people who will wonder just where Mikey was when he deflected that one over the bar. 4-2. And the great jizz that was in the early stages of the game has, well, eased off for the moment anyway. We've about almost 19 minutes gone. Pat Fitzgerald got the ball kicked back up by Michael Spillane into the centre of the field now. Richie Connor out now to Aidan O'Halloran. All Offaly at this stage. And there are two Kerry men back there. One of them is in possession. It's Paudie Lynch. And now Offaly coming back into the attack. High lobbing ball in there again. Jack O'Shea in, helping the defence. Out to Paudie O'Shea. This is Owen Liston and Liam Connor alongside him. This is Ger Connor. And Ger racing up and look at Liam Currams go after him. Hoppity into the goal, and it's got by Martin Furlong. Oh, these passes are a good one. Tommy Doyle, high, and his shot certainly isn't a good one. Here it is again. And the final shot just screwing off the boot and going so wide. Tommy Doyle, who came out last minute for Pat Spillane, the score, Kerry 4 points, Offaly 2. And Owen Liston, who is certainly having a tight time of it with Liam Connor. Liam, who is a brother of Tomas in the centre of the field, and Richie, a brother of Matt, who's playing at top of the right. After about 22 minutes of play in this first half. And Offaly playing with the breeze in this first half. Jimmy Carroll not getting it, however. Oh, very nice bit of play there by Mikey Sheehy, but the pass went wrong. Pat Fitzgerald. And a line ball far side of the field for Kerry. Or for Offaly, I should say. And it's to be taken by Pat Fitzgerald. And it goes to Pat Dunn, back out now to Matt Connor. A lovely testing ball, and the ball deflected out over the line. And indeed, I'm sure there were Kerry people who were wondering where the Offaly forward was when that ball dropped down very close to the parallelogram. It's a 45 for Offaly, to be taken by Matt Connor. He's got the only 2 Offaly points so far. No, it's gone wide, and the score remains 5 points for Kerry, 2 points for Offaly. And the great zing and zest of the first 5 to 10 minutes by Offaly has somewhat withered away at this stage. Still very much in touch, however, as Kerry lead by these 3 points. swinging it around the centre of the field, but free for pushing the back there, and this free to be taken by Richie Connor from 65 metres out from the Kerry goal. Sean Lowry and John O'Keefe together. Sean Lowry getting it. Sean Lowry taking a shot and sending it over the bar. Very cool, very calm, and very accurate, making it 5-3 in favour of Kerry as Sean Lowry got that ball, beat John O'Keefe to it, turned, made his angle, took his shot. And here it is again. Back now to Charlie Nelligan placing the ball for the kick out after that one. Just about 10 minutes left in this first half. And posting in there to get the ball is Doyle, Tom Doyle. Now this is John Egan. That's Owen Liston. And that's Liam Connor, the fullback. Breaking up the attack and sending it well down. Little bit of fortune telling going wrong there. Bobby Lynch getting it up now to Sean Walsh. Nice bit of fielding there by Pádraig Dunn. John O'Keefe. Tom Doyle. John Egan. Tom Doyle. Ger Power. Ger Power making his way in now, but Joe sending it wide. And a few of the forwards with their hand. Here it is again. He's coming through. He takes his shot and he sends it wide. And a few of the forwards standing inside, not altogether happy that Ger decided to go it alone. 5 points for Kerry, 3 points for Offaly. Five wides for Kerry, 4 wides for Offaly. Done. Almost did, he did a clever thing, almost had the good reaction. Owen Liston foul there. Free to be taken by Mikey Sheehy. And Offaly have made the anticipated switch of Jerry Carroll gone centre field and Tomas Connor centre half forward. This is Mikey Sheehy. And that one has gone wide, and the score remains 5 points for Kerry, 3 points for Offaly. And Mikey looking just to see what happened. Remember, doubtful until a couple of days ago because of an injured foot, and playing today with a pain-killing injection before the game. Certainly, the usually accurate Mikey has not been on the ball so far today. This is Jack O'Shea. It's gone out over the line. A lot of the anxiety seems to have gone out of the game. It seems to have gone into a valley at the moment. And the Kerry dugout over there, nobody looking particularly excited or even particularly anxious, not even literally over it. And this is Tomas Connor. And a very short pass there to Aidan O'Halloran. And Aidan's got a knock. Richie Connor. Liam Currams. There's a dangerous ball. Nice. They held in there by Matt Connor. Out to Sean Lowry. Matt Connor getting it up. And the referee is awarding a free out. He's awarding a free out. Here it is again. There's Matt Connor getting the ball up. And he's been penalised for carrying the ball too far. Certainly he could have fingerprints on him, that's for sure. 5 points to 3 in favour of Kerry, and they are attending now to Aidan O'Halloran, who got a knock there when he went down. There was a boot going to the ball there, but it got to Aidan's head beforehand. Got a knock on the side of the head and being attended to. Seems to be all right. Yes, he takes his position. Certainly looks a shaken man, but maybe the run for the first ball will make him feel that bit better. And a lovely bit of fielding there by Pádraig Dunn. about 6 minutes left in this first half, but Kerry leading by 2 points. There's a man who's certainly been blazing a trail in the attack, Ger Powell, although that last shot of his, it won't go into his book of things I like to remember. Who seems to be ploughing a lone furrow there in the centre of the field. And this is Charlie Conroy over on the far side of the field now. Getting the ball upfield, John O'Keefe and Sean Lowry, Aidan O'Halloran. Aidan's shot is just to the left and it has gone wide. Just looking round now to see what switches have been made back here. It looks as if John Egan is now top of the right and Mick Fitzgerald has moved with them, and Mikey Sheehy is top of the left, and gone after him was Charlie Conroy. That's the full-back, full-forward position. There's Mikey and Charlie Conroy with him. Scrappy play there. Tim Kennelly putting Owen Liston into position and possession. Into the centre now. And that's John Egan. Coming out to Ogie Moran. Ogie's shot goes in, but Green Connor is there. That's Vincent Henry. He's pushed in the back, and there's a free. A free for Offaly, well inside their own 45-metre line. Pat Fitzgerald to take it, a shortish, well-placed one. Aidan O'Halloran. And the ball going back over, and goes back over the backs of the forwards. A nice pass, brother to brother, Sean to Brendan Lowry. Not too sure where that one was supposed to go, but I don't think it was there.
That's why he does.
And Brendan looks the way he nodded as if he agreed. 5 points to 3 in favour of Kerry, as we now have about 3 to 4 minutes, about 3 minutes or so left in this first half. The sun thankfully blazing down now, an autumnal nip in the air as the ball drops into the centre of the field, and again it's Porrick done. If only he had somebody with him, he'd certainly be doing great work out there. Brendan Lowry. Lowry's kick is high, and it's gone over the bar. Back on there. Brendan Lowry getting this one. The ball coming from Porrick Dunn, who is really playing a great game in the centre of the field. Coming in now, there's Porrick's pass over. Comes across now to Brendan Lowry. Jimmy Deehan is after him, but Brendan gets his kick in, and now there's only 1 point between them. And the crowd beginning to wake up again. 5 points to 4 in favour of Kerry. shot into the goal mouth, and Charlie Nelligan watches it go whizzing by. We're in the final minute of the first half now. The sides are level. The first half that started with fine football, went to sleep for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but suddenly has come back again. Both sides playing some excellent football. Sweep there by Mitch Milan. This is Tom Doyle, and it is a line ball for Offaly. Tom pleading that he was pushed over the line. Nice kick. Jimmy Deanahan all alone. Tony O'Shea, and Brendan Lowry has gone down injured up the field here. Tony O'Shea with the ball. This man having the game of his life, and that's saying something. Still Tony O'Shea, but the pass goes astray, and Charlie Conroy comes in to make a mockery of it all from the Kerry point of view. Paddy Lynch out now to Sean Walsh, and still injured up the other end of the field is Brendan Lowry. And the referee has blown his whistle, and it is half-time. They're playing away up here, but the referee has signalled that it is half-time, and Brendan Lowry, who was injured in a clash with Jimmy Deanahan, has gone down injured and is still injured up on the left corner up here. They're attending to him down here. His brother Sean with him, but the team's going off the field, and exactly what the booing is for as the teams go off, I'm not too sure, but there they are. The men from Offaly, the men from Kerry, they go to the dressing room, 5 points each at half-time. And the free sent in now, and the ball comes back to Porrick Dunn, deflected in towards the goal, and goes down to Jimmy Deanahan. We had some microphone trouble there a moment ago. Ball in the centre of the field. Ger Power, the score still 5 points apiece. This is Pat Fitzgerald. And John O'Keefe beaten to the ball by Sean Lowry. And Michael Spillane in there with Sean Lowry. Pat Fitzgerald. Porrick Dunn. And Porrick Dunn threw the ball, there's no doubt about that. And there's a free out for Kerry from about 20 metres out from their own goal, or a little bit more. 5 points apiece is the score, and we're in the early stages of this second half. Charlie Nelligan. Ball breaking to Aidan O'Halloran. Brendan Lowry coming down for it. He's pushed in the back by Jimmy Deanahan, and it quickly taken free. And here come the Offaly men. Still going through. And the shot that hit the crossbar by Jerry Carroll there. Hit the crossbar and came back into play. And there it is again, coming out. And here's the live action. change of mind at least once. And now he's changed it a third time by carrying the ball too far. Carried the ball too far, and they're playing away, but the referee has blown his whistle and awarded a free to Kerry, just about 60 metres out from the Offaly goal. Jack O'Shea. Nice ball, hopping out for Owen Liston, coming out to it. And the passing movements go on. A high ball from Sean Walsh, and it's over the bar. Over the bar for the lead for Kerry. Sean Walsh sending that one over after almost 4 minutes of play, and the score is Kerry 6 points, Offaly 5. Kerry playing with the wind in the second half. Martin Furlong getting ready with the kick out. And once again, Sean Walsh in the centre of the field. Charlie Conway, he couldn't hold on to it. And here come Kerry, Ger Power. Liam Currams is after him. Owen Liston back into the centre, and the shot that has gone wide. The shot there that went wide as Mikey Sheehy went running in to grab it, and it just barely went wide, but wide it went. Still 6-5 in favour of Kerry. Here it is. There's the shot, and just wide.
Come on, Offaly!
And the kick out to the centre of the field. Torrick Dunn, who's certainly the youngest man in the field and certainly having a great game. That's Paudie Lynch. That's Paudie O'Shea. That's Owen Liston. Liam Connor coming after him. Liam saying thank you very much, Owen. It doesn't happen very often. And the ball gone off Jerry Carroll. 9 ball for Kerry. Jack O'Shea at that line which the ball is placed is the 65-metre line. John Egan, Mick Fitzgerald. Aidan O'Halloran coming in. Richie Connor, Pat Fitzgerald. And Kerry seem to have loose men all over the place up there. Tim Kennelly, Ger Power, and Liam Currams. Tomas Connor gone back for it. And the pass, not a very well-placed one. And away now come Offaly with Aidan O'Halloran. And that pass, not a very well-placed one. Kim Kennelly. That pass, a well-placed one. Jack O'Shea. John Egan. And the ball coming to Mikey Sheehy coming across from the far side. No, there's a tail on it. It's gone wide. And the score remains 6-5 in favour of Kerry. A low-scoring game up to now. Martin Furlong. Mick Fitzgerald. Jerry Carroll and Tim Kennelly going for it. Big Tim gets there. And the referee penalises them for a foul pass. A free to Offaly from the 45-metre line. And it's to be taken by Pat Fitzgerald just outside the 45-metre line. And nicely faded by John O'Keefe. Across now to Jack O'Shea. Mikey Sheehy. And the ball sent over the sideline, line ball, and it's about 10 metres out from the Offaly goal. And it's a Kerry ball. Owen Liston. And the high ball that's gone over the bar. Over the bar there for a point, increasing the Kerry lead now to 7 points to 5 as John Egan got that one and sent it over from an awkward angle. 7-5, the score. And about 8 minutes gone in the second half, and it's beginning to rain. Sean Walsh lording it in the catching department at the moment. Referee had blown his whistle and awards a free against Offaly for holding. Paddy O'Shea, who was everywhere for the first 20 minutes of the game, placing this one just inside the Offaly 65. And certainly it had goal written all over it. Mikey Sheehy placing the ball on the 45-metre line. And the kick blocked down, and the referee has penalised the Offaly man for standing too near. So it is another kick. And again, it's Mikey Sheehy. Mikey's kick is straight over the bar. No doubt whatever about it. And although he was limping a bit early on, the limp seems to have eased out quite a bit as Kerry lead 8 points to 5. About 9 minutes gone in this second half. Furlong's kick to the centre of the field. Nice feed in there by Jack O'Shea. And the referee awards another free to Kerry inside the 65-metre line. Paddy O'Shea to take it. Oh, Liston gone out intending to flick that one in, but it's flicked out to the corner. Ger Power into Paddy O'Shea. Tip back to Jack O'Shea. And there's a terrific tussle in the goal now. And the referee has awarded a free out from the parallelogram. And here is what the Shamazo was all about. There was a fair amount of pulling and dragging in there. Out. Johnny Mooney gets his fist to it, out to the far side of the field. Brendan Lowry gone out after it. Still Brendan Lowry and Jimmy Deanahan. Referee penalises Jimmy. Free for Offaly. 40 metres out from the Kerry goal, far side of the field. Matt Connor gone over to get it. Gets it, places it, and is about to take it. And Matt sends it wide. Score 38 points, Offaly 5. 3 points between them. That would have been a very useful one for Offaly. And if you're checking the wides, they're 9 for Kerry, 9 for Offaly. No goals so far in this game. Cody O'Shea tackled after the ball was gone by Johnny Mooney, and a free for Kerry where the ball lands. And that is about 50 metres out from the goal. Tommy Doyle with it now, fisting it up towards the corner. Look at Mikey Sheehy, the way he runs. Look at Charlie Conroy, the way he runs. Oh dear. Don't look at Tony O'Shea, the way he shoots. 8 points for Kerry, 3 points for Offaly. 8 to 5, I should say. 8 to 5, 3 points between them. 3 points between them. And the rain just drizzly at the moment. Ogie Moran, who has moved on to the left half position, with Tom Doyle gone into the centre. And Corey Dunn, another bit of high fielding in the centre of the field. And this is Paddy Lynch, who is moving outfield. Corey Dunn again. And out over the sideline. Line ball for Kerry. That ball quite breezy. This is Mick Spillane, brother of Pat, and Tom, of course, who's in the subs bench. Oh, a lovely bit of hurling-like passing there by O'Liston. No, gone wide. A lovely swing there, adding to the ball as a hurler might, but it just got to the line before John Egan. Martin Furlong once again. And from the break, it's Ogie Moran. Mikey Sheehy, Paddy O'Shea, and Paddy sends it wide. With all these sallies of Paddy's up to attack, I'm sure some of the mentors are almost wishing he'd stay where he was and not shoot, but he is one great player. Charlie Nelligan calling to him to come back, because he can see a wide open space back there over on the far wing. Vincent Henry, top of the right, and Mick Spillane, left half back. In fact, players playing everywhere back here now. Ogie Moran, Sean Walsh, Owen Liston, and Liam Connor. Very nicely dropped by Owen before he went over the sideline. Mikey Sheehy in there, but so also Liam Connor. Right across the goal and racing the same from going over the sideline on the end line is Portington. And he won. Up now to Aidan O'Halloran. Johnny Mooney. Richie Connor. And the ball fisted further up the field. John O'Keefe going back for it. And John slipping there. Nobody too close to him when he did it. Ball cleared out by him. Ger Power. Still Ger Power. Still Ger Power, but blocked now by Johnny Mooney. Back to Jack O'Shea. And the ball hopping harmlessly out over the end line and wide. Momentary confrontation there in the centre of the field. Referee having a word, one way or the other, with Ger Power. 8 points to 5. We haven't had a score for quite a while. not for 9 minutes. Well, up at this end of the field, they're waiting for action. The action down the other end, and here it is. Jack O'Shea making his mind up to go before anybody else did. Sean Walsh, a shot and a wide. Well, Kerry are certainly squandering away an awful lot of chances, and they have now had 14 wides, and Offaly have had 9. Then, of course, they've had 8 points, and Offaly have had 5. Offaly have yet to score in this second half. Remember the Mayo match with Kerry? We wonder. And now, here is an open space that's filled by Tim Kennelly. Owen Liston. And Owen brought down on the 45-metre line. An awful lot of pulling and dragging got into the game now. The early stage is the best of it as far as good football was concerned. But of course we haven't come to the late stages yet. Mikey Sheehy just inside the 45-metre line. And Martin Furlong brings it down, clears it out, and here come Offaly. Johnny Mooney, who was brilliant in the Leinster final. Another open space, filled again by Tim Kennelly. Kim to Cody Lynch. Cody fouled, and there is a free. That's what's happening now. Nothing but pulling and dragging around the place. And this free to be taken with 15 minutes left in the game, to be taken by Michael Spillane. Ogie Moran. And it's over the bar. Point by Ogie Moran. Typical Ogie. Brilliant footballer. Great placer of the ball. And the kicker of that point to make it now 9 points to 5 in favour of Kerry. Offaly to score yet in this second half. But you know, in the hurling final, things were poised pretty well like this. And then things began to happen with the Offaly forwards. Let's see if the footballers can do the same. It's John O'Keefe. Vincent Henry. Tony Lynch. Tony O'Shea. And back to cover off is Charlie Conroy. Out to Pat Fitzgerald and to Ed Moran. What are we going to do, boys? And into an open space again, but this time the ball dropped. Sean Lowry and Matt Connor, who out of the early stages of the game or outside of that hasn't been so much in the action. And the ball deflected out over the sideline. Both teams appealing for it. Owen very definitely appealing, but the linesman signalling Offaly goal. Charlie Conroy gone back to take it. 9 points to 5. Kerry leading. And Tory Dunn out jumping the Kerry men in the centre of the field. Matt Connor. Still Matt Connor. And a rather careless pass into the centre. And now Tommy Doyle. John Egan. Owen Liston. Dangerous kind of ball. Fisted down there by Liam Collins to Richie Connor. Liam coming upfield. Out now to Johnny Mooney. Mooney all alone. And again Tim Kennelly in there in what seems to be a haggard of his own in the centre of the field. But he's beaten this time. Jimmy Deanahan gone back now with Brendan Lowry. And the referee penalises Brendan Lowry for a sliding tackle there. And there's a free out for Kerry. Jimmy Deanahan walking up a little bit with it, and the referee suggesting. In fact, I think Jimmy thought the referee thought that he hadn't brought it up far enough. But Jimmy is putting it down now as Kerry lead 9 to 5. anxiety, slippery ground, and also the presence of Tony O'Shea. Nicely deflected there by Big Fitzgerald into Richie Connor, or into Johnny Mooney, out to Pat Fitzgerald, across into the centre now, and this is Matt Connor with the ball. He was a moment ago. This is Sean Lowry with the ball. Sean takes his shot, it's carried in and it's over the bar. Matt Connor pushed off the ball there as he was getting it, coming to Sean Lowry, and Sean sending it over, and now there are only 3 points between them again, 9 points to 6. That is the first score by Offaly in this second half, and I think there's going to be a substitution. Vincent Henry is going off the team, off the Offaly team, and on is John Moran is on. John Moran for Vincent Henry. 3 points between them, 9 to 6, and the stopwatch says 10 minutes left in the game. And all alone out here, for the ball was Mitch Balan, but not quite getting to it, and now it's John Egan into the centre to Sean Walsh. Sean Walsh up down to goal, Liston. Liston with it now. He's in front of the goal. And his kick clock down there by Charlie Conroy, but here's Mikey Sheehan. And Mikey sends it over the bar, and that is a point for Kerry to make it 10 to 6. Quite an amount of action there around in front of the goal, and here it comes with Mikey Sheehan winding up with the ball and sending it over the bar. 10 to 6, that is the score. 10 points to 6, Kerry the leaders, and about 9 minutes left in this second half. Still no goal in this game. Richie Connor, Fergie Moran, Liam Connor going out for it now with Owen Liston, and Liam getting there now, and the pass that would have been lovely, but what is free, Mikey Sheehan, Owen Liston, Martin Ferdinand, and Martin clashing there with Owen Liston, and getting the ball out now. It took courage to do that, and he certainly did it. Now it comes into the centre to Johnny Mooney. Mooney out now to Jerry Carroll. Carroll's jersey pulled there, and Offaly swinging back into the attack. Owen Liston shaken a little bit by that tackle, but he seems to be all right. A free to be taken for Offaly, and it is on the 65-metre line. It's been taken by their captain, Richie Connor. And here we have Tony Lynch. Tim Kennelly, once again loose. Once again sending a long one up the field. How lucky can you be? John Egan. Out now to Tommy Doyle. And a nice shot that has gone over the bar. There was a tail on it, but it didn't tail away. It was over the bar, a point now, making it now 11 points for Kerry, 6 points for Offaly. And here it is again. Tommy Doyle, high, very high, and over the bar. Back come Kerry again. Kerry rampant at the moment. Tommy Doyle again. This time it's wide. 11 points to 6, and about 8 minutes left in the game. The goalless final so far. Pat Fitzgerald, and this is Liam Collins, and Jeff Howard having his name taken for a personal foul, and that was a very personal foul. In other words, no more of that, Joe. Game goes on. Liam Curran's in possession and possession. Now a ball comes up now to John Moran. He is held, and there is a free for Offaly. Free for Offaly, dead straight in front of the goal. 5 points between them. Matt Connor to take it. There's his kick and there's his point. That makes it now 11 points to 7. Just 4 points between them, and about 7 minutes left in the game. 3 points. The total for Matt Connor, a rather low total for Matt in any game. This is Johnny Nevigan now with the kick out again. Are we going to have a grandstand finish, or is the game going to fizzle out? Let's see. Sean Walsh. Pat Fitzgerald trying to stop him there, but Sean going on. Hits the upright. Nick Fitzgerald now. Nobody out on this side of the field to take the clearance, and the ball goes off Ogie Moran's shins over the line. Line ball from Offaly. Pat Fitzgerald to take it. That's his own 20-metre line behind him there. Brought down by Richie Connor. John Lowry and John O'Keefe together. Tim Kennelly. And the referee has penalised Offaly for manhandling Tim. And it's a brave man that will do that. Oh, well. He just gets one free for that. Uh-oh. Might have got another one for that. That was a replay, incidentally. That was not a continuation. And John O'Keefe, the prince of modern-day fullbacks for so long, taking this kick. Michael Spillane, having his jersey well tested there, and Johnny Mooney. Johnny Mooney going into the little book for a tackle there on Ogie Moran. In other words, another one of those, and Johnny will go back to the sideline. 11 points to 7. Kerry still leading by these 4 points, and 4.5 minutes between Kerry and their 27th title, their second ever 4 in a row. Oh, a dangerous ball, and it's gone over. Mikey Sheehy. Mikey Sheehy, the scorer of that one, and that stretches the lead to 12 points to 7. Mikey over there on the right, certainly striding out an awful lot better. Here's the replay of it. He gets it, and a very deft short kick there over the bar. Striding out an awful lot better, as I say, than he was in the early stages of the game. Richie Connor. Liam Currams. Liam, I'm sure, going to try and make his speed tell, but there's no room to run. And on ball in towards the goal. Jimmy Dean had gone back for it, and Jimmy's clearance out again to the far wing. And Tim Kennelly, who's having such a blinder, and foul. He looked as if he was fouled. The referee allowed the play go on, and it comes up now to John Egan. John Egan up to Owen Liston. Liston back to Egan, and now they're really rolling. Egan across to the far side of the field. Mikey Sheehy, in it goes now, and a goal! The first score of the game. Chip O'Shea, the scorer. And let's have a look at that one again. John Egan across to the far Kenny Mooney. Somebody outside him, and that's Richie Connor. Matt Connor. And he's fouled as he kicks the ball, and there is a free for Kerry as Ger O'Keefe comes into the game now for Kerry in the dying moments. Ger O'Keefe on, Mick Spillane off. There's Ger, the holder of 2 All-Ireland medals. In fact, subs come on for Kerry with medals dripping off them, as it were. Matt Connor to take this one. Is he going to try for something like a goal? It would be difficult with the look of green and gold in there. I'll be satisfied with the point. He was satisfied with the point, and that makes it 15 points to 8, or if you like, 1 goal and 12 points for Kerry, 8 points for Offaly, and even the Offaly supporters couldn't raise a cheer for that, what I'm sure was the final score of the game. Charlie Nelligan with the kick out. And there goes the final whistle, and Kerry have done it. Kerry have won 4 All-Irelands in a row. They've won their 27th All-Ireland in all, and they truly are the kingdom of football. And there's a man who certainly played a part in it. Some of the shooting, Paudie, perhaps not the best, but by heavens, how you defended and how you put your fellow attackers into action. The Kerry men, but then in the end people began to wonder, how did they ever think that Sam was going anywhere else but home to Kerry? Paudie O'Shea coming up there, looking as happy as the day he went up for his first medal. On the Kerry team as it started, there were no less than 52 All-Ireland medals, that is, men who played in All-Ireland winning teams. Jimmy Deenan being congratulated all over the show, and I think he's just getting ready now for the presentation, and Paddy McFlynn, the president of the GAA, just about to make the presentation now. And isn't it strange how familiarity breeds not contempt by any means, but lack of excitement? Remember when Offaly hurlers won a couple of weeks ago, the president couldn't get a word in edgeways. Today, there'll be no problem about him making his speech, because indeed, winning 27 All-Irelands is something indeed to be happy and proud of. And Paddy McFlynn having a bit of trouble with a microphone there, I think, and Jimmy Deenan kind of saying to himself, I wish I could take this thing away with me. Down in the foreground here is the presentation, and here is the president of the GAA.
Well, tan cluichí hart agus tan corn a go arás go Kerry. Agus caiimid ará go bhfuil an buí tiltí acu, Jimmer siad go han waith ar fad. Ach san am céanna caiimid fochail buíthas agus fochail máta a thuairt do muintir Offaly, mar Jimmer siad go crí go díon jearir. Agus hubar nach ró an buí acasan ag Lachama. I would like to congratulate Kerry on this very historic occasion when they achieved their 4 in a row. The Sam Maguire goes back to Kerry for the 4th time. And I think we all must pay tribute to a great Kerry team that has given us some wonderful exhibitions of football in the last number of years. They have indeed been a credit to the association and to their county. But at the same time, we have every sympathy for Offaly. They played very, very hard, and they played right to the end. And indeed, it is no small feat for such a small county to have won All-Ireland 1 and to appear in the final of the football. To them, our sincerest thanks. To both teams, congratulations on a fine game, giving us plenty of excitement throughout, and we must praise them for the skills they've shown. Anish, and Mornella Ra, Bronham and Cornshaw are captain and Erin, Jimmy Dunnigan. Oh, there. Jimmy, you're right.
Well, the public address microphone seems to have broken down, which ends Paddy's speech, but it quickens the presentation of Sam to Jim. And there it is, the Sam Maguire, going to Kerry once again.
You're on there,
a wútarán a aine agus a carda. Is darúl an ócádaí seo gan áras. Mar is í seo an céad úr ón mlín 1932 le ó bhúg éon cúnta be, craobh sin seirc na hÉireann ceithre úr as a chéile. Ní héon rud beag é seo. Na Círaíc a dhéanaan ó Darnacha, agus tá san dán ormsa agus bród nach beag, bheim captain fearn eile ón riacht atá tar éis ón múrgasce seo a dhéanamh a úr. Ba bhean buchas a do bháil na gach éine a thuair cárdóg in san bús darúil seo. Agus tásúla gom go mé míad arás ar an áit seo a ríis. Agus gníomh níos darúla fós a dhéanamh. Sé sin an Sam a thuairt arás a bhaile ceithre úr in íge céile. Rud ná dhéanamh fós é star Cumann Lucas Gael. Cúgúr a bhéanam. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, on this historic occasion, when we, this present Kerry team, take home the Kerry, the Sam Maguire, for the 4th consecutive time, I would like to pay tribute where tribute is due. First of all, on a personal note, I would like to thank my divisional club, Field Rangers, for bestowing on me the great honour of captaining Kerry on this historic occasion. To our county board, for without planning and organisation, nothing can be achieved. To our great selectors who bestowed on us the supreme honour of representing our native county today on All-Ireland Day, you couldn't get a better honour in any sport. To our Masoor Owen McCrahan and all those people who gave us any medical assistance, thank you all for getting a very, very fit Kerry team on the field today. And now I come to a man whose leadership both on and off the field and whose great motivational influence has been a major factor in our victories today. Need I mention his name? Mick O'Dwyer. Beg sé Malta Dámíse Impost. Now, on this historic occasion, I would like to pay tribute to two men who are not here today, but who I'm sure will be very proud of us. And they are the late Tim Lennon and Andy Mullo. They did an awful lot for this team, and I would just like to thank their families for their contribution to this victory. Now to you, our faithful followers, not only from Kerry, but from all parts of Ireland, those of you who are looking in today on television around Ireland and across the seas, I would like to say just Buchas Umlan O Creediv. Finally, I would like you all to join with me in paying a special tribute to a gallant Offaly team. I would like you all to give them a rousing cheer. Hip hip!
So there they are, the champions. Ger Parr there in the foreground with Cody O'Shea, and of course Ogie Moran, and of course everybody joining in that special tribute to Mick O'Dwyer, who has been such a great help to Kerry football, not just as a player, but more recently as a mentor, a trainer, but not just as a trainer, but an advisor to the lads themselves. And it is perhaps an interesting little quirk of fate that in 1930, Kerry won the All-Ireland, and the following year, the first and second years of the decade, Kerry won again. 40-41, it was Kerry again. 50-51, well, it was Mayo, but the same team won in 51 as it won in 50. 60-61, it was Down. Again, not Kerry, but it was Down who won in 60, and the following year they won it again. Well, the 70s things went slightly awry. Kerry won in 70 and Offaly won in 71. And so in the 80s, Kerry won in 80, and Kerry too have won in 81. Just another little note of the record that these Kerry men have made. And there's Owen Liston holding onto the football, and the youngsters glad to grab his hand. Ogie Moran looking like a man that's had a hard 70 minutes or so. Ger O'Keefe coming down behind, and then of course Paddy Lynch and Pat Spillane, who had to cry off at an hour or so before the game, but the Kerry mentors so sportingly brought him on in the last few minutes to have it to say that he played in the All-Ireland of 1981. And Mikey Sheehy, the other man who was doubtful because of injury, he there just a moment ago. And Jimmy Deanahan now being carried shouldered high in the general direction of the dressing room. But it's a long, long way from the centre field of Croke Park to the dressing rooms, whether they be the old ones on the far... Oh, mind that cup. And whether they be the old ones over on the far side or the new ones on this side of the field. And he, in fact, is going in under the tunnel. I'm glad they put him down, because he might have got his head knocked on the way through. And he's going through to the dressing room from the passage under the Hogan stand. Meanwhile, down here in front of the dressing rooms, the crowd have gathered way down on the right, but also a huge crowd gathered in front of the presentation area. And you know, looking at the scene like this, one's memory goes back to a lot of things and little things that happen. One of the men there in the picture was little Leo Griffin, a man who has dedicated his life to Kerry football. But there was a man who dedicated his life to Down football, a man called Bobby Langan, and Bobby died yesterday. Father Tully, who was a backroom boy and indeed a man who led Meath to many great things in the 60s. Well, Father Tully, if you're listening or looking, we wish you well. We hear you have not been well, but we wish you well. These are just some thoughts that, in all the excitement of the occasion, I think one's mind is entitled to go wandering to those who are not here. And still Kerry marches on. And you know, typical of the Kerry men, do you know what they're thinking of now? 5 in a row. And, you know, looking at the way they won there, I'm sure there are 31 counties saying to themselves, how the devil are we going to stop them? Well, they certainly are welcome to the challenge, but this Kerry team must truly be one of the great teams of Gaelic football. Kerry, who produced great teams of old-style football, have produced great teams of new-style football. Well, in the minor game, of course, the result of that, in case you've just joined it, was Cork. Well, you won't just have joined us now, I'm sure, but in case you didn't hear that, is Cork 4-9, Derry 2-7. That was the minor game, the big one, which was a challenge for a long time, but then the Offaly men just couldn't cope with the all-round brilliance of the Kerry, the All-Ireland champions, for 4 years in a row. Well, there's a certain amount of activity already down in the dressing room as some of the Kerry men have got down there, and amongst the Kerry men is a leash man, Mick Dunn.
Well, it's this celebration in the Kerry dressing room. It's a bit muted at the moment, I would say, but you can see the joy on the faces. You're getting so used to this now, Ger being congratulated. You're so used to winning All-Irelands now that Kerry are taking it as a matter of form.
Well, Mick, I missed the last 2 years, you know, so this is a great honour for me today to be able to play out the game, like, you know.
I'd say there was relief with you that you got through that injury after your experience in those last 2 years.
Well, you know, I looked after, well, this is the only game I wanted to play all year, like, you know, and I took my time about it, and it was now come back, and, well, we played fairly well today. The whole team played magnificent, like, you know, and we'll go all out.
I know the heartbreak you suffered, because I interviewed you before half-time in the minor game the year that you missed the All-Ireland, so you must have had a great lot of sympathy for Pat Spillane when he had to miss the beginning today.
You know, it's a terrible thing. Even Pat thought he'd play up to this morning, like, you know, and fair dues him for making a decision. You know, he made a good decision not to play. I suppose he could have played. He came on there and he played well when he came on. But still, no, like, it showed his character, you know, to not go on the first half. It's fantastic.
Well done again, Ger. Pád O'Shea, a game you enjoyed, I'd say, because you have a point to your name from this All-Ireland final. You were playing more as a half-forward in the first half than you were a half-back.
That's right. Mick Doyle doesn't allow me to go too far up the field, but I think he had no option today because I had to follow my man.
And he was taking you very far up, wasn't he?
Irrespective of how far I had to follow him, you know, and that's why I was up there.
It was a tactic that worked a little better for you than it did for Offaly.
Well, I thought maybe in the first half that they could have stayed back, you know, that their half-forward line should have, you know, stayed back with the win rather than clouding it out up front.
Paddy, for a minute we'll leave the Kerry players because Father Sean Heaney, the Offaly chairman, is here, and I'm sure he wants to say a few words to the victors from Kerry.
Well, Winter Thierry, Ardouche Boilum, Cogarjacus O'Cree, Gwaliv, Azokdar War, Vua, and you. August Nile Hours, Garawan Bua Tilcha, Guv August Trace Liam, Gahumla, and Thierry, Azokdan Vua, Avia Gavinu. People of Kerry, players, officials, supporters, it's my pleasure to congratulate Offaly, or Kerry, on winning the Sam Maguire for the fourth time this afternoon. We came into this match with very high hopes, and we have to admit, with all honesty and sincerity, that on the day the better team won. I'd like to say also that I think the conditions made it very difficult for the match to be the kind of spectacle we were all hoping for. And I'd like to say, while I congratulate Kerry, that I and all Offaly people are very, very proud of our team and very proud of our effort in trying to win both All-Irelands in the 1 year. We didn't quite pull it off today, but we won one this year, and we are determined, with all respect to Kerry and all admiration we have for you, that the one we didn't win today will come our way next year. But I do congratulate Kerry. I pay tribute to it. Was a very sporting, clean, well-contested game. I think everybody agrees on that. But I think the conditions made it difficult for both teams to display the kind of football we'd like to play. So that's all I have to say. I hope Kerry enjoy the success. There's always been great sportsmanship, great competition, great rivalry between Kerry and Offaly. And what happened today did nothing to lessen that rivalry or to interfere with it in any way. And we hope that if we are to come and win the All-Ireland in the near future, that the team we'll take the Sam from will be none other than Kerry. Goramila Mahaga.
Well, Father Sean Heaney there, Jimmy Deenahan bringing the cup to Kerry for a fourth successive year. That's now emulated the achievement of a previous Kerry team and a Wexford team. Must be 5 in a row now.
Well, I think that we work as hard as we've been working for the last 4 years, that it's possible now at this stage. I think that I just like to pay tribute to a great team, and I think their dedication is an example to all athletes in Gaelic football in this country. And overall, I am just very happy, and I'm delighted to be taking back the cup to Kerry into my village, Finnog.
What I mean by it must be 5 in a row now is that at this moment there couldn't possibly be any thoughts of retirement, because I remember talking here in your dressing room under the Cusick stand last year to a lot of you. They were saying, well, we must go for the 4 in a row. I'm sure the spectators, the Kerry fans, will now demand that you stay together.
Well, whatever about the Kerry fans, I think that the team will stay together because we have all our lives are nearly staked in football and we've given it everything. And I think we're going to get the end out of it. You know, we stay for another year, I think, most of us that might be retiring, you know. Yeah. Other than that, I just think that it was a great achievement today, and I would like to thank Offaly sincerely for the great team effort they made.
Did they frighten you a little bit when they got away to that good start?
Definitely, I wasn't really confident at any stage that we were going to win for sure until Jack O'Shea got that goal, you know. After the Holland, I think that they had so much spirit and belief in themselves that they could come back. It was possible that they could make that comeback at any time.
I think everybody in Croke Park must have been thinking halfway through the second half of Galway and that hurling final, and as you said, the way Offaly came back.
Well, there was similarities definitely between them, and Offaly was full of spirit and fight right up to the end. They gave them their due. They never give up the ghost. You know?
Okay, Jimmy, congratulations again to you and the Kerry team. We have John Dowling, the Offaly secretary and chairman of the Leinster Council here in the Kerry dressing room too. John, have you a word to say to these All-Ireland champions?
Well, just a very sincere word of congratulations, Mick. To me, that this Kerry team has been one of the greatest that has ever come out of the kingdom. And I congratulate them rather sincerely, very sincerely, and I wish them very, very well on their trip to Australia. I hope they have a very happy time, because a team that has put so much into Gaelic football, I feel that they deserve this trip, and I hope that they really enjoy themselves.
Okay, John Dowling. Well, Frank King, Kerry chairman, you obviously now can enjoy the American and the Australian trip all the more.
Yes, Mick, we certainly can, and it's a wonderful thing really to be going to Australia as All-Ireland champions. But before I go off, I would like to sincerely thank the Offaly chairman, Father Heaney, and John Dowling for coming over here. And I think the game itself proved today that Kerry weren't all that hot favourites at all. And certainly Offaly will be back.
Well, at half-time it certainly didn't look like it, but there has been this great sportsmanship and great friendly rivalry between Offaly and Kerry since you first met in '69.
Oh, there is great friendliness between both teams, and I think it showed it today. Like, the game itself never deteriorated into anything but a sporting one, and we can thank Offaly. And that's, you know, when they were being beaten, they didn't resort to any tactics that weren't true to Gaelic traditions and games.
You made a point to me when I was down doing the preview to this All-Ireland final. Jimmy Deenan has just mentioned it. You made the point that these fellas so deserved that trip to Australia. They put so much work into their football.
Well, I feel very happy this evening, Mick, that they have won their 4 in a row, because in modern day football, there is no team or no group of people deserve winning a 4 in a row and deserve a trip to Australia than these days, because, as I said to you when you were down in Kerry, they put many, many hours of work and give up a lot of leisure time for this.
Frank, thank you very much indeed. The man who had the bitter experience of not having to cry off less than about an hour before the game, Pat, you finally decided that you couldn't play. That must have been a heartbreak.
A bitter experience, Mick, but in the end, you know, the decision was the right one, and I've got a game, and probably must be the first man with one leg to ever play in Croke Park, you know. But I'm thrilled, like, I was part of the team, and the boys played fantastic.
There was a very nice gesture by your teammates when they insisted that they wouldn't allow the team picture to be taken until you came out of the dugout, and I could see you shaking your head that you were a bit reluctant, but they prevailed on you to come in.
Well, that's fantastic. This is really why we have won 4 in a row. We have a team spirit developed over the last 5 or 6 years, a great comradeship, and that's what got it for us. You know, we have a fantastic, one big happy family.
It really is. It's even more so than a club team. It's a family spirit that's amongst you, isn't it?
It is. Like, we die for ourselves, for each other, and we die for the spectators, because, you know, there's one thing you said, you know, it was only coming up to this week at the All-Ireland, you know, it is a religion down in Kerry football, and I was injured all last week now, but I just especially want to thank everyone who sent cards.
Really?
One old woman near Kilmere, I'll have to thank her very sincerely. She travelled 15 miles and brought a bottle of holy water for me. It's those gestures that make football what it is in Kerry, and I want to thank everyone. You know.
Well, that's the spirit of the All-Ireland Championship, I suppose. That's what makes it such a great sport. And here's the prize at the end of it all, the Sam Maguire Cup, now going back to Kerry. For the umpteenth time, they've won 27 All-Ireland titles, and congratulations to them, and we hope that they'll really enjoy that trip to Australia. Back now from the Kerry dressing room.
Well, the Kerry dressing room, not the wild, excited place that we've often seen dressing rooms before, but, you know, an indication of the sporting life and the sporting approach of Kerry was the way that they insisted on bringing Pat Spillane into the photograph, the way that Pat Spillane and Ger O'Keefe were brought in the last few moments so that it could be said on the records that they played in yet another All-Ireland. The last team to win 4 in a row was Kerry, 1929-32. Only one other team before did that. That was Wexford in the teens. No team has won 5 in a row. What of 1982? The final score here in the senior match was Kerry 1 goal and 12 points, Offaly 8 points. In the minor game, Cork 4 goals and 9 points, Derry 2 goals and 7. There'll be more sport in a little while, just after this break, Ryder Cup golf. But in the meantime, from me, Slán agus Banach Gair.